Hi guys, and welcome back to the SN Studio for a third edition battle report. I need to get used to this, but it doesn't matter because we're excited and you are here for more third edition action. And yes, big shout out to Games Workshop for obviously sending us this in advance to preview. And we've got all the books, we've got the Saturnine box, and we've had a lot of fun in the last few weeks. Now, for today's game, we are playing the Thousand Suns, the new Thousand Suns in the studio, beautifully painted by Rob from Meadows Miniatures. Big shout out to him for the glorious paint job, which has captured it perfectly to what we wanted. We're going to see a lot of psychic powers and the changes in this edition. And obviously, we are also going to see a lot, and I mean a lot, of Terminators walking up the field casting powers, as well as vehicles and infantry. So there's a bit of everything to showcase. As for my opponent, we've got Jose, the man, the myth, the legend, the most beautiful man in Horus Heresy, as many of you say. He is bringing his Raven Guard, a fan favorite for many of you, and a lot of infantry. So we will see the very good Legion trait that the Raven Guard now have in today's game. A lot of things to actually add as well. If you want to get the box set and you want to get the books and help us out at the same time, there is an affiliate link to Element Games down below where they give you a 15 to 20% off the new box set and the books, and at the same time you will be supporting us. As for the mission, we are playing Take and Hold at 2,500 points, and yeah, we can't wait. So let's go on to lists, with Jose's Raven Guard list coming up first.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing great. Here we are with the new edition of Horus Heresy, just arriving today here. I mean, we're gonna be playing the very first game, and we are super excited to check the rules, check the mechanics of the game, and let's see how everything behaves, right? And yeah, let's talk about the list, because I mean, the way of making lists has changed slightly a little bit, right? But still, it's not that hard to make if you have a really good planning, I will say. So because of that, we're going to be we're going to start talking about the Prime Detachment in this case, where we have the High Commander. I mean, the High Command is actually going to be my Saturnine Praetor. That he has as a war gear the Saturnine Destruction Fist, and also the Saturnine War Ox. Have to say that this guy is very chunky, is very resilient, I believe, because he has 6 wounds, toughness 6. And yeah, still is a little bit slower because he has initiative 4, for example, less attacks. Let's see how it behaves, but still is super interesting, the new model that we got for the game. So yeah, let's give it a try, right? Now we are gonna be jumping straight into the commands. And the first option that I decided to go with the commands is actually the Centurion. The Centurion in this case has the Corby Jam Pack, the double Raven Talons, and that's basically everything. I have to say that Centurions in this case, because it's officer of the line, it gives you 2 points, which is going to be quite interesting in order to make the detachments work. As a second option in command, I decided to go with the Vigilator. Vigilator just had the Nemesis Bolter that doesn't allow you to take any other war gear because, you know, things has changed a little bit, and dramatically a little bit, right? We are not fan of that anyway, but yeah, we got the Vigilator here, so we're gonna test how it works and how it's performing during the battle. And the third option, I decided to go with the Master Signal, a character that I believe is going to be in most of the games because it can create certain situations that it can be super interesting for the dynamics of the game. So with this said, we got a total of 5 command points that we can spread all over to choose different detachments, but we're going to jump into that situation just in a few moments, because before anything, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the primary detachment, the rest of the options that I have choose. In this case, I decided to go with 2 identical tactical squads of 13 guys in total, with the sergeant having the lightning claw. Also Annuncio box, and that's basically everything. So I have to say that one of the options, the tactical squad options, it has the prime detachment, prime slot that is going to allow me to bring down, for example, in this case, the Leviathan. So yeah, and the third option that I choose, it was actually the spoilers. That in this case there are 11 guys in total, 1 Vexilla, 2 Power Lance, and the Sergeant has double lightning claws. Now we're gonna be jumping straight into the different detachments that I'm gonna be able to choose because of this, the points that I got in the command and the high commands. So the first detachment that I choose, it was actually the Capitation Cadre, which is the very own Raven Guard one. So yeah, it allows me to take some Recon Squad, in this case two of them, or 5 guys with Nemesis Bolters. And the third options that you can have up to 2 more, right? But I decided to go only with 1, which in this case is gonna be the Dark Furies. 10 strong Dark Furies that we're gonna see for the very first time in the game, and we're gonna see how the Lightning Claws perform during the game. Well, in this case, the Raven Talons. So the second option that I had the choice to go with, it was actually the support detachment. That in this case, I had the heavy support squad of autocannon, 10 guys strong, with nothing else going on in it. And the other option that I have to add in this detachment, it was actually the laser rapiers. I forgot the name of these guys because, I really like them, but it's been a long time since I've been playing with them. So, and the last one is gonna be the Apex detachment. This detachment can be unlocked only with the Praetor. And in this case, I decided to go with it because I think it's, cool models, cool thing. Let's go heavy with it. And yeah, basically it's 5 Cataphracti Terminators with double lightning claws, and the banner, the Standard of the Legion in this case, because we have the difference now in between Standard of the Legion and Standard of the Company, and a few difference in between those. So yeah, I have to mention also with the Prime detachment, the Prime slot that I have in the Tacticals, for example, I mentioned that I had the opportunity to unlock any other slot. In this case, I decided to go with the Leviathan, which is the Melta. The warrior that it has is the Melta Lance, and that's pretty much everything, because in this case you really want to keep the flames in this edition, I will say. The last thing to say is that, you got prime slots here, and I mentioned already the tactical ones, and I mentioned also that the Centurion has also the prime slot, but I haven't said what perk I will choose with the Centurion in this case, which is just the Paragon of Battle. Just to mention that thing, okay, just to make it clear. So with this said, we're gonna jump straight into Pardos list, and let's go to war, guys.
So here we go with the Thousand Suns for the first time on 3rd edition. The Masters of Magic are here, and I believe they've got a really good buff. Even though Psychic Powers do have a bit more negative, because any rolls of doubles basically gives you perils, I believe that all their Psychic Powers and their combos are really strong. So let's go on to the detachment, which is my primary Crusade detachment, and as my high command, we have Araman himself. He is a monster, especially in close combat, especially in challenges. He's got just so many good abilities when it comes to close combat. Apart from that, he's got his specific powers on his profile, so more on that in the game itself. My prime command is a Master of Signals. So this guy has had a lot of changes, but personally I think he is still king. He allows you to get reinforcements in better, and he also grants you a special rule which allows you anything that is not Vanguard or Line to give them Vanguard or Line. Even if they already have it, you can actually switch it over to Vanguard 1 or Line 1, which is very strong. Now, this guy obviously unlocks another detachment, so between both of my commands, I have 2 extra detachments. Now, he also has a prime slot, which I've given him Paragon of Battle. Not much I can give him to, because you can't give it to Araman. So he's basically got +1 weapon skill, +1 ballistic skill, and +1 attack, just in case he gets into combat. As for my troops in this detachment, I've got 3 identical tactical squads. They are 10-man strong. I have a plasma pistol and a lightning claw on each of those sergeants. I also have a Vox and a Vexilia. Nucio Voxes are incredible in this edition. I'm sure you're all going to be looking for them in your bits box, and obviously the Vexilia has still stayed the same. As for their Arcanas, they've gone for Athenian, I think it's called. I probably brutalized all these names, but it's a great little addition because it's a power. It's got 2 powers in the Arcana, but the one that you really want to focus on is that they can actually cast a power onto themselves, onto another unit, for them to lose a status. Huge. Apart from that, they also have a 1 prime advantage, and I've gone for logistical benefits, and that logistical benefit is bringing me a support squad of 10 heavy support marines. These all have Volkites. Again, Volkites are still really good. Less shots, but if they stay still, they still go get a +1. And again, there's a really good combo because you put the Master of Signals with them, so you can shoot at things on objectives and get Vanguard if you actually give it to them. And as for their Arcana, they've gone for Pyre, I think it's called, which basically grants them Rending 5-up. Huge. Lastly, finishing off this detachment, we've got the light dedicated transports, which I've filled 3 of the possible 4 with Rhinos, and they're obviously stock dual bolters. Again, I've mentioned many times, but just transports are just great this edition because it's a fast-paced game. You do want to move up as quickly as possible and obviously unload your line units or your Vanguard units as quickly as possible. My next detachment is an Army Vanguard, where I have my 2 big squads of Sekhmet. They are 9-man in total, so 2 9-man squads, 18 Sekhmet on the field. They will be walking up. They still have heavy, so they can't rush. Yeah, rush, not run. It's now rush. They can't rush up the table. So it's basically trying things out. I do have bigger dedicated transports, but I said, look, let's try it out. Jose is trying a lot of things out this game, so why not see how they perform just walking up the table. They do have 5 Thunder Hammers in the units, and as for their Arcana, they've gone for Pavoni, which grants them +2 to toughness as a reaction. So there's a lot of psychic power reactions. And again, if you fail, you lose the reaction and you lose a reaction point, plus obviously don't get the power. This is great. I think it's called Stone Wall and gives them +2 to their toughness. So Terminators are already toughness 5. This grants them +2, taking them to toughness 7, same as a Contemptor Dreadnought. So a very, very good resilience buff. Again, all these Arcanas do have 2 spells, either a force weapon or another reaction spell or another blessing spell. And obviously more on that when we go through the Legion specific upgrades in a future video. Now, this detachment does bring a prime slot, and I've given combat veterans to one of the segment units, basically the one that will not have Araman, and obviously they get all the leadership benefits up by 1. So a great little shout there. And lastly, finishing off and rounding off the list, we've got a armored detachment where I have 2 Demolisher, Vindicator Demolisher tanks as separate unit. There is no squadrons in this edition, and this little tank is actually very good. A very anti-elite and anti-vehicle as well, with if they don't move, they do get damage 6 on the blast. Blast templates are even better. You will see on the battle report itself, hopefully, how blast templates work if you haven't already seen in the rest of the battle reports. Now, again, this is 2 of them, and very good anti-everything. So I'm hoping to see just how good they look on paper on today's battle report. The Vindicator Laser Destroyer is also a good shout. Personally, I would go for the Laser Destroyer, but I did want to showcase the blast templates in this game. That is my list, 2,455 points. I think I'm certainly under, but there was nothing else I could fit in. You've seen Jose's a beautiful Raven Guard, so let's go straight on to war, and that's coming right up.
In the shadowed ruins of a forgotten Mechanicum facility on the outskirts of the great Dorganis Forge, a long unbroken silence is finally shattered, pierced by the low hum of corrupted energies and the flicker of unstable warp rifts. Once a shrine to technological progress in the distant days of the Dark Age, This derelict bastion now serves as a ritual ground for the sorcerers of the Thousand Suns. Unfettered by imperial constraint, the Sons of Prospero freely ply their dark trade, drawn to the arcane machinery buried deep within these halls. Artifacts steeped in secrets long thought lost, here in the rusted husk of Torganis, they seek forbidden power and knowledge once denied to them. But they are not alone. From the shadows silent and watchful, the Raven Guard have already taken position. Hidden among rusting spires and fractured data cores, they wait with purpose, precise and resolute. Beneath the vast, decaying structure of the Forge, they have one mission: eliminate the traitors and deny their coveted prize.
The armies are deployed, the battlefield is ready, and we are ready for war.
Third edition war.
Third edition war, exactly that. Yes, the first game that you will see, we've recorded a couple, it's just the order of release that we have. And we thought Raven Guard versus Thousand Suns, two armies that a lot of people enjoy to see, two armies that are very different this edition.
Completely different.
Completely different. So we thought, why not? Let's show you all how they are. So, we are playing, Kieran's here with us. Kieran, what are we playing?
We're playing the Take and Hold.
Take and Hold mission. Kieran is like our referee for today, like the VAR. When you play football, he'll be correcting us from the rule book in the back. And this mission actually has, we're playing Hammer and Anvil deployment. Two objectives on the table, which are just here, just in front of the Saturnine Praetor, and just in front here of the Rhinos. Now, these are actually 3 points to score.
Yeah.
But as soon as you score them, they devalue in points. From 2 to 1 to 0. As soon as there's 0, it basically doesn't get basically gone.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we've got Slay the Warlord for 2 points, First Strike for 2 points, and Last Man Standing for 4 points.
4 points, which is huge.
It is huge. One of the other missions is First Strike for 4 points. So there's always one that is basically changes a bit. Yes. I won or I lost the first roll-off, meaning that I will deploy and go first at this moment. So saying that, let's go straight with it. Oh, I do want to mention, because obviously a lot of you are watching this for the first time, terrain has also changed.
A lot has changed.
You can actually opt to, how do you say it? You can opt to give the terrain whatever cover you want. So there's light, there's medium, and there's heavy. I'm not a fan of heavy, but I'll quickly explain. So light is basically, as always, like we've always played, but you have to be on it to get a cover save, and the cover save is a 6-up. The medium, again, you have to be on it, and is a 5-up. But the only difference is that if you are 3 inches into the terrain or more, you actually are not seeing. So for this game, we're just going to use it as normal. Well, we're just going to use it as light cover, unless you want to use medium for anything.
Light is okay.
Yeah, light for now. Yeah, we'll change it up.
Try to do that on the beginning.
Yeah,
of this, right?
we'll change it up as we go along. So, for example, if this was medium, they wouldn't be able to be seen because they're more than 3 inches in. As for heavy, you just can't see them, which is a bit too much. There is like things that we don't like, where if you can be in heavy, you can basically pop out and get on objective without being shot at and stuff like that. But it's good because a lot of people, and some comments as well on the battle report, have always said we need some more line of sight blocking terrain. Yeah. So if your terrain doesn't block, you can actually give it the keyword of heavy or medium, and it basically works even if you can still see the models through.
Let's be positive in that part.
Yeah. There's a lot of positivity as well in a lot of the rules. Even though you've probably seen the ugly, the bad, and the good. The video that we did post out with what our first reactions are after about 10 games. So let's go through my deployments. We've got a Vindicator Demolisher here on the flank, and his brother tank is on the other side as well, just in front of Jose. We've got the heavy support team up here with my Master of Signals, making good use of the terrain and the higher point advantage. We've got the first of the Segmech. This is the one with the prime advantage, which are veterans. So basically they get 1 to all their extra leadership tests, like Cool and all the others. And then we've got the 3 rhinos here ready to rumble up the battlefield as fast as possible and unload my line units. Line 2 units for all tactical squads. For those who are watching new, because this is sort of a game that we're going to be learning. If you have line, you score the extra points on that objective. So line 2, which tacticals have, you have a 3-point objective that would get you.
How many?
3 on the objective and 2 on the line.
5 in total.
5 in total, exactly. And then we've got the second Segmech squad with Araman himself, which is a beast for this edition, especially in challenges. Hopefully we don't see a challenge, because I think he's going to win every challenge we do, but it would be nice to showcase. Now, let's go and check the Raven Guards. Now, as for their Legion rules, so the Thousand Suns, I get +1 to my willpower.
Yeah.
To cast, basically, you do willpower to cast. As for yourself, this is a very interesting and a very different one. So Raven Guard actually have a unique Snapfire.
A Snapfire if you are away from 18 inches, basically.
Yes.
So,
now Snapfire is different. It's not as bad.
It's not a 5, it's not a 6. It's actually depends on your ballistic skill. You're gonna be hitting differently. So, in this
ballistic
case,
skill 3 and 2 and lower is 6s.
basically.
Ballistic skill 4 and 5, and 5 is 5s, and if you're better than that, you're back to 4s. But still, very defensive, and this is why this deployment is so different, because he's making as much use as possible of his Legion trait. More of a counter deployment from Jose, because Thousand Suns do look strong. This is the first time we're using them, so bear with us, but they do look strong. So he's being cautious, aren't you?
It's the very first game, so we have to be cautious in the beginning just to see the mechanics, how it works.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to be,
100%.
it's going to be a scholar for everyone here. So yeah,
definitely.
Let's see how
we're learning. We're all learning.
Yeah.
And remember, if you see any mistakes that you have seen, in case you're seeing this battle report later on, please comment on the comments, because we will be using one of those posts to actually say all the mistakes we have done. Because, like we said, I'm on like maybe 10 games. You've played maybe 2 or 3 smaller games. Kayron's again on like 10 games with me, so we're still learning. There's still a lot. We were 3 years. We were 3 years in 2nd edition, and we were still learning. So hopefully we do a good job with it. Take us through your deployment. So a bit of everything everywhere, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as you can see, I put the whole army is just right behind, because I want to take all the advantage of the distance because of the trait, the Legion trait.
Yep.
I have put the autocannon to counter yours, your heavy support squad in there.
Yep.
Just right in here. Also, the Leviathan is going to be trying to scare you a little bit.
Apply a bit of pressure.
Yeah, just putting some pressure in the left flank.
Your 2 line units are here, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Ready to move on to the objective.
Yeah, this tactical squad and this tactical squad, and also I had in the background like a counter-attack unit, the spoilers, just in case that you're deleting everything.
Yeah, and I get too close to that objective, you've got something to counter.
Exactly.
Perfect. And then on the other flank?
In the other flank, in my right flank, I got the Furies, just exactly the same for the same purpose, because, I mean, these guys can move up to 14 inches, which is really insane.
Yes, yeah, two more than a normal, which is huge.
Yeah, the high mobility is a thing here, I think, and yeah, I'm being precautious on the beginning, but once you feel the confidence on it, obviously I'm going to be changing the mindset.
It does look good, because you get plus a lot of pluses for your step up, which is before you charge. So we'll go into charges. I'm sure there will be charges, but moving fast is great for charges.
It's really, really good.
So hopefully they do make it into combat.
And finally, I have the last option here on the right flank, just to counter your Vindicator, which is the Rapiers. Just right here. I'm going to move it a little bit. Like,
yeah.
One's
fainted already. It's very hot in here.
It's hot.
Okay. So one more thing to add is that I am currently going first. Obviously, there is still a stealing of the initiative. So do you want to steal the initiative? I think there is.
Do we have a big chunky dice in
I
here now.
think it should be there, isn't it there?
Oh, isn't it here?
It's here behind me. Let's use it. Let's use it. People like it when we use it. There we go. So six-sided dice, 5 of them with the SN logo. We want the I just stole text. Can it be a first game of stealing of the initiative for the Raven Guard? Sneaky little legion. Let's go.
Nah.
No, it is a 6. As you can see the I just stole just beside.
Just on the
So
side.
let's go on to turn 1 for the 1,000 Suns coming up. Okay, we're back, movement over, and yeah, not a lot. I think it's going to be a very calm turn to start with. Only a couple of units, actually 2, can only fire. So I've moved up with my 2 demolishers. I've moved up with my Terminators. I did rush forward, which is the new run, but then I remembered that they are heavy and actually moved them back, just in case you saw it in the top-down camera. But heavy does give you now a +1 to cool checks if the whole unit is heavy, and still can't run. And slow and purposeful, which they also have. Basically, you can't. It's not sweeping up bunts anymore. It's basically cut them down or something like that. Okay, right?
Gun them down.
It's cut them down, right? Pursue. There we go. Pursue. Okay. I have moved my 3 rhinos up, one of which is in range of your Saturnine Praetor unit. And I have disembarked with the one at the back because obviously it's very important to score at the end of my turn. That's about it. I'll show you a little peek of these guys on this side, just moving up very slow and purposefully. No transports. Jose said that he wasn't bringing any transports for the Terminators and walking them up. So I said, okay, I'll walk mine. I'll leave the Spartan parked for now. That's the movement. On to 2 units shooting. Coming up. Okay, we're going into the heavy support squad, and I'm going for fated shots on their Arcana. Basically, this gives me rending. Now, remember that these guys are more than 18 inches away, so that means that I am snap firing on 5s. Jose, who has 3 reaction points per turn.
Waste 1
we,
now.
we both have 3 reaction points per turn. You're going to waste 1 to shoot back. Another point of note is that you no longer can hide. So if I see one model of the units, basically I can kill the whole unit. So it basically spills over into things. Same as in combat. If there's units you can't normally reach, you can still spill over onto units that they can't reach. So first of all, I'm going to do my cool check. No, my willpower. And that is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a fail. Is it on?
Because a Master of Signals is a willpower of 7, as 1,000 Suns you're a willpower of 8.
Ooh, and what's my sergeant?
Your sergeant, have you given him anything extra?
No, I don't think so.
Is he a Master Sergeant? Or anything?
No, nothing like that.
Then he's
So
willpower 7, 8.
okay, so nothing. Karen's confirming it's nothing. So that is just a fail, but it's not a double. So I am not suffering any perils, which for Arcanas is just D3 onto the units. So I failed that, but I can still shoot. And let's start shooting. Hitting on 5s here. And I don't have the rending because I failed my Arcana. So here we go. Take this, take this. I need 5s though. Whoa, much more different. This was a fail. These were hits and these were hits. So that's the first.
No, there's a 6 in here.
No, but I split it over. That was me splitting over. And then 2s to wound.
Yep.
So 2, 4, 6, 8 for now. And then we roll all these. And we roll all these. And we roll all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. That's actually a good roll. And then 2s to wound again. And that is that much. So 2, 4, 6, 8. How many did I do the first one?
8, 2, right?
8. So
8, 16.
So 16 in total.
Ooh. I'm going to shoot you back.
No
first.
artificial armor either in this edition.
No, there is no artificial
So
armor.
you will be shooting back. Are you going to do the saves first? Or are you going to shoot?
No, I'm going to shoot you
I'm
back
going to
first.
shoot. Okay.
I'm hitting you on 3s though.
Lovely.
I'm wounding you on 2s. 2.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes. And I got rending on 6.
Yes.
Damage too, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s.
Okay. This one.
Nice.
And now
And,
2
yeah.
to 1.
I'm just going to give you information to those of you watching. There is no night fight in this edition either, for now. Maybe in some campaign books, some missions there will be, but there is no night fighting in this edition right now. So that is
a lot of rending,
lot.
actually.
Wow. That is...
6 rending.
Okay, so those are all 7. There's one more 6 there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 7. Okay, so do your 16 saves really quickly.
Okay. Well, let me count first of all the amount of wounds that you got too. Otherwise,
Okay, yeah, true.
10, 16 wounds plus 6. So
Okay, so 16 same as me, but you have 7 that went staying through.
7 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
16, 8 and 8, yeah. Okay, so 3 ups.
3 ups here, and let's see if they're gone.
So that is
4 at the
4,
moment,
5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Okay,
Wow.
that's very good. Now, something again, it is a learning video. So if you start putting a wound onto one of your characters, if it is in the wound pool, so in the firing pool, you have to carry on taking the wounds from that firing pool until either the firing pool is finished or he is dead. So that is something you can't do one save and then push it onto her.
Yeah.
So 7 dead, you said?
7 deaths.
Okay, now 16 on my side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 3 up saves. That is 4, wow, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys dead in return. And then I've got 7. I'll do one at a time because this is a cover save of a light cover, so 6 up. He's dead, and then these go into my Master of Signals straight away. 5 ups. He is dead. How does that feel?
Damage 2 is something else, definitely.
Even the damage 2 doesn't go into consideration now, but imagine if they were Terminators and stuff like that.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm
projecting. All these ones would have been the dead Terminators, and you're still Strength 7, so even though Terminators are Toughness 5 now, they would have been still wounded and still dead.
Forget as well.
Yep.
The flag rates.
Oh yes,
you have to do the flagration.
So I did 7 wounds.
7. You had to roll 7.
7 more to do. And the flag rate now is like the strength changes, but there's only like 1 gun in the whole of the flag rate range, which the range the changes. Yeah. So 3, 6, 7. 2's to wound, and that is 6 wounds
6
more,
wounds.
please.
3 is to
do 2 at a time because you do have your character there. So 3 at a time. So 1 more, so 2 at a time.
They're okay. And 2 more.
So that's the whole unit dead. He's by himself then.
Yeah.
Master of Signals is by himself. So we've both killed a unit. That is both of us getting first strike for 2 points.
I may be wrong.
Yes.
But I think you have to get first strike in your turn.
In your turn. Okay, we'll double check that. Thank you, Karen. Our referee for today. And then to finish off my turn, I'm just basically going to do a combi or twin bolter or 2 bolters. It's not a combi bolter on the Rhino anymore. And I'm going to go into your Saturnine Terminator Praetor. And there's no reactions I think you can use because there's no shrouding.
Yeah, it's all right. Shoot ahead. I mean, go ahead.
Do you have any guns?
No, I have not.
Okay. Hitting on
6, 5 or 6.
5 because I'm still 18 inches away, right?
Yeah.
And then nothing. There. Okay, let's finish it off my turn. Let's
really
go.
bloody turn.
Yeah, both heavy support teams are gone. Let's go on to turn 1. Raven Guard coming up. Turn 1 movement for the Raven Guard now over, and again shuffling here and there, making good use of his Legion trait, still to be defensive in my turn 2, and moving units into sort of areas in his deployment where he can move into key areas in later turns. So has anything rushed up the field? No.
No, I haven't rushed with anything.
Okay, and so basically just slightly moving up. Is there anything in range though?
Yeah, we got the rapiers, and also we got the Nemesis bolter from the sniper, so from the recon squads.
Perfect, which are 48.
48. We just checked that, and it's
Yeah,
48 inches.
shorter
which
range,
is-
but still quite a lot.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we can go straight into shooting.
Yeah.
I have done no reactions on my side because there's nothing within 12 inches to react to. So let's go into shooting. Where are we doing?
We're going to be shooting the rapiers against this
Okay. So
indicator.
I am going to smokescreen. So smokescreen is one of the new reactions. There is no shrouding, but vehicles, dreadnoughts, and some units, like the likes of your recon squad,
Yep.
does have smokescreen.
Smoke screen too.
So you can basically use it for a reaction. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use a reaction there for 1 point, and basically I get a 5-up shrouded save.
Yeah.
So 4 shots in
4
total.
shots in total.
2 shots
no,
each.
no twin link because we have not
There's no twin link. There's no re-rolls. That's all gone, which we are a fan of.
Yeah.
So just again some extra information.
It's more realistic actually.
It's more
so yeah.
realistic, yes. So let's go. Hitting on threes.
Hitting on threes.
3 hits, and then strength 10 to my front arm of 13.
Threes to make
Does it have armor bane?
Yeah.
It has armor bane. So 3s to pen, basically. Yeah. Okay, that's a 1, a 2, and a 6. Okay, so 1 does go through. I have a 5-up smokescreen, which I fail. Now, I do also want to say that smokescreen lasts for the whole of the phase, for the shooting phase.
Exactly.
So that's another little change. It's gone through. What's the damage?
3 actually, because I remain stationary and it has
power, heavy power, right?
Heavy
So
power,
you get not power, damage.
heavy damage.
Damage.
Yeah,
So you get damage 3. Okay, perfect. So he's down to 3 wounds remaining. Anything else to fire? Nemesis bolters?
Yeah, Nemesis bolters. We're gonna start from those guys.
Those 5? Okay.
They're gonna shoot to your Terminators.
Terminators. I am going to. What's the strength on the Nemesis?
4. If I remain still, I think it's +1 strength. If I'm
Isn't
not
it
wrong.
damage? Isn't it +1 damage?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the damage.
Damage. Okay, shall we double check the strength really quickly?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, we are back and we have checked. There is strength 4. If it doesn't move, it's strength 5.
Yeah.
And the Vigilator is strength 6.
6.
If it doesn't move, it gets +1 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't the Vigilator is in that squad? No, it's not. So 5 shots coming in hot into this unit.
Yeah.
I am going to react with Pavoni, which is stone form, which gives me a +2 to my toughness.
Toughness, yeah.
So I need to pass on a 10. That is a pass. There's no doubles. So they are now toughness 7 because Terminators are
breaching is
5.
still. I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
right?
breaching is still good.
So 3s to hit. I failed 2.
Okay.
I'm now looking for 5s. if I'm not wrong.
Strength is
5.
5. So no, 6s.
6s now.
6s.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing
happens. So breaching is not passing through, even though you are.
Yes, it doesn't auto.
changed.
Rending is auto hit.
Yeah, it has changed dramatically.
Yes. Breaching is just the AP value, basically.
Exactly. And now pretty much the same in this unit.
Okay. I will do. Are you shooting with them as well?
Yeah.
I
Now with the
will-
Vigilator now.
You can only do 1 power per unit per turn. So I'm going to go with the same power. I'm going to go. What did divination do again? Divination would give me. Oh, divination. No, yeah, I'm going to do for the same. I'm going to do exactly the same. So.
Okay. Can you do 2 the same?
Oh, I fail. I think I fail.
Yes,
what
you
is
failed by far.
what is his cool? Araman's is cool 9. I have +1, so it's a 10. So it's a fail, but it's not a double. So
yeah,
I just
you're like
fail.
not Paris of the Warp.
I'm just fail.
Somehow Paris of the Warp. I mean, it can happen, but the chances are pretty much the same. I would say.
I think it's even worse. But the problem with the perils on normal powers is the stunned. You get stunned.
I love that though.
Stunned is very, very not nice to do. Okay,
Yeah.
so I failed the power, so it's all yours.
I'm gonna shoot with the guys first.
Yep.
So 3s to hit. Only hitting
Okay,
2.
2 times, yeah.
And 5 is actually.
4 is 2 wounds because I'm
yeah, but it's
5.
precision strikes. That's the thing. I can shoot to who
Okay,
is going.
or to who you want.
Yeah. So let's do to Ariman, for example.
That is
This
a 4.
Hitting actually because you got.
That's a wound.
Yep, that's a wound. Another one is not. Well, it's strength 5.
I don't know if it's the majority still
Yeah,
toughness.
we have to check that
We'll
actually.
double check. So it's a 4 and a 3. And do you want to do the Vigilator really quickly?
Let's check it out first because
Okay.
it's going to change
The
dramatically.
Vigilator is in the same unit, correct? Perfect. Okay, let's double check. Okay, so we found it. Precision is still, you do a separate wound pool. You still have to wound the majority toughness of the unit, and then when you wound, you actually allocate who you want them to go into. So a 2 up here, that's a pass.
Yeah.
And now we do the Vigilator, which Jose has the book just in front of him to help us out.
Yeah.
Is it one shot?
One shot only.
Okay.
2 up. Nothing. It's not precision strike. This is the only thing. But now I have a strength 6, so
Okay.
3 to
Is
wound.
it 4 up precision?
It's for
4 up
precision
precision.
too.
Okay. And this is strength 6, isn't it?
This is breaching and
and
also
damage 2 because he didn't move,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it
the thing
heavy
is
D?
heavy D. So, but also
What's the damage on the gun?
yeah. The thing is that I don't remember if you have the ballistic skill when you're ballistic still skill 7
7, you get damage. You get critical hits on 6s.
on 6s.
It's critical hits is to hit. Is to hits.
It's to hit. So
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
this is
get
nothing.
It.
Yeah. So
2
again,
wounds.
this is something new we can say. You do get critical hits on the higher ballistic skill. Critical hits are auto wounds on the hit roll, and they +1 to your damage, which is great. But he got a 3, so
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Perfect. So it is a 2 wounds, right?
2 wounds. Yeah.
So a 4 up if not one of them dies, basically. And that
Nothing happened. Still, you have to do pinning and pinning.
Yes, so we do pinning from here. We have to do it as soon, but we remembered, and that was from the snipers.
Yeah.
So a leadership test here. That's a pass, and a leadership over there as well, and that's a
You're
pass.
okay.
So pinning is now slightly different. You don't have to do an unsaved wound. It's basically you just have to wound them,
Yeah, exactly.
and you do a pinning check. Perfect. I believe that's the end of your turn.
Yeah, end of my turn, definitely.
Did you kill something?
Nothing, so I have
Nothing.
no extra points.
Yes, no first strike because we did check it. It has to be in your player turn. You did get 7 points. 4, 5, 6, 7
5
points for
points.
this one. I got it in my last turn, which I didn't mention. So the score at the moment is
7-5.
I got 5 points. You've got 5 points. I got 2 for first strike, taking it to 7-5 on turn 1. Turn 2 coming up. And we're back. Turn 2, movement over for the 1,000 Suns. So everything's moved slightly up. I've slightly moved up just to be in 24-inch range of the Dreadnought, but not really needing to get closer because I don't want that thing to get closer to me. I've moved up with my Segmech Terminators, stayed put with my backline troop slots, and then I've moved up with both of my rhinos. Now you can move your full distance and still disembark. The disembark is no longer from the door, it is from the edge, any edge point from the side with a door. So you basically move from here, place a model, and then move your full distance. So this is what I've done exactly there in the middle. Now I wanted to move on to the objective. We were contesting. Contesting is different now. If you are both contesting, it comes down to models within 3 inches of that objective, and then obviously if you draw that, then it's a draw on there. So I moved up, but Jose was smart because at that point I was winning that objective, but he used a movement reaction to basically move up onto the objective and now contest that objective. And we don't know who has more, but I'm going to be shooting into him, so we will see at the end of my turn who is scoring that objective. My Vindicator has moved up now within 24 inches of his recon squad, and again my Terminators with Arrowmen have moved up. No rushing from them because of heavy. So we're going to go straight on to shooting, and we're going to shoot the first of the 2 of the blast. Now the blast is different. Now you place it where you want, which I'm going to put it on top of that one, so it gets 5 guys. Because if I put it on top of this one, no, it's still,
It has
still
to be
5.
in range,
Yeah.
or it's pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it on there.
Okay.
Now you hit first. If it is a hit, it basically lands there. You no longer scatter with blast templates. But as he is Raven Guard and how he is more than 18 inches away, I am snap firing, so I need a 5 to hit. That is a 4. There's also a rule in the book which shows that cocked dice like this is fine. but if it is a diamond-shaped, no, basically speeding the game up as we go along. So now we have to roll a dice. It's 1d6 and not 2d6, but it always scatters, and I shall show you why. So you see the scatter there? It always moves 1 inch that way, and it's only 1 inch, so it will be getting 2 guys, 3 guys?
3 guys, I would say.
3 guys, okay, perfect. So choose to wound on the Demolisher. It is strength 12, and that is 2 wounds and 2 dead, basically, because they are damage 3, and if they don't move, it becomes damage 6.
Yeah.
So 2 dead.
But that's against vehicles. I mean, the damage 6 is against vehicle only, right?
Only against vehicles, only against vehicles. Okay, so let me check if there's any pinning there, and I'll catch you back in a second. Okay, there is a stun on it, stun 1, so it minuses 1 to your leadership. Let's do this.
Cool.
6, 7. Right. So what's your height? What's your cool?
8.
8 on him, so just about. Stun, basically, you can't do reactions apart from all the statuses, all the negatives from statuses, which you can't suffer. What was
extra damage. I mean, all the modifications that you have, you don't have it if you are.
Yeah, basically, if you can't active your stationary and a couple of other things.
All the perks that you got for the remaining. I mean, for example,
there's a couple of things. It is in the book. Perfect. So that's him. I also am going to fire my combi bolter, which is now 4 shots, hitting on 5s, wounding on 4s. Nothing there. Okay. And then we're going to rinse and repeat here. So I'm going to put a blast on there. I hit on, I'm within 18 inches, so I'm just hitting on a 3. And it is a 1. So it is a scatter again. And scatters 4 inches this way. I believe I should be out by an inch, because I think if it's 3, no, 4 inches. 4 inches.
Then it's out for sure.
Out for sure, yeah, perfect. You need to be within 3. Okay, that's done. Combi bolter can't do anything because it is toughness 8 still.
Yeah.
And then I shall. I don't think there's anything in range from them. So what I am going to do off camera is I'm going to do all the small arms fire. So if they're in range, they're going to be firing into tactical squad, which I want to take out. I will also be firing the tactical squad, which is 2 shots each now for bolters. Even at range, there's no rapid fire. It's always 2 shots at range 24. And then I'm going to do 4 shots from here, 4 shots from there. And I don't think I need to do any psychic powers. And I'll have a look about that. Anything you want to do? You can react with the tactical squad. You can shoot back if you want. No, you can't.
Why
you know
not?
why? Because you use your movement reaction.
Yeah, actually I have done the reaction.
In this edition, if a unit has done a reaction, you can't do any more reactions for the full player turn. Perfect. Let's go on to small arms fire, and we'll come back for a little. Okay, we're back at a total of 5 killed. I can't do anything to the Dreadnought, that is confirmed. But between the 2 rhinos and my tactical squad, I've managed to clear out half. Oh no, not half, because you're a 13-man squad.
Yeah.
So 5. So you will need to do a leadership test there. I also, did I do a wound on here from him? No, I failed because I was thinking about the stuns. Perfect. So you do need to do a leadership. If not, you will rout. 6, 7, 8. You are okay because your sergeant is leadership 8. Perfect. So now I am going to charge you.
Go ahead. I mean,
you can charge, and I am an inch away. So I'm going to step up. So when you charge, if you step into it, so my movement, no, I can't. I can't get my full step up. I can only get 1 because I've come out of a vehicle that isn't a assault vehicle.
You cannot do that, and also your discharge charge.
Yes, a disordered charge. So as soon as I come off a vehicle that isn't assault, like a Land Raider or a Spartan, I am disordered. So my step up is basically only an inch, I believe.
1 inch.
1 inch. So it's more than an inch because I had to be more than an inch away as per normal rules. So now what you can do is we can volley fire with assault weapons and pistol. Basically have the assault keyword and flamers.
I'm gonna shoot you back. I'm gonna do the shoot you back. I mean the offensive shooting. I think.
Okay. Do you want to do Overwatch or do you want to do volley? So volley fire is free and is the thing that we always do.
Yeah, but you're hitting on a snap
fire.
But
you can't do Overwatch because you've already used the reaction in the movement phase in that unit.
But this is assault now, right?
Yes, but you can only do 1 reaction per unit for the whole turn. So if you use the movement reaction,
Okay, yeah,
he can't
sorry,
do anything. Yeah, too
it's
many
too
rules.
hot here. No, but it's too hot here
Yes,
too.
as well. So you can volley fire. So you can do pistols.
Yeah, let's do volley fire. So yeah.
So pistols going in because pistols are assault weapons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 5 to hit.
Yes, because you're snap firing in the volley.
And 4 to wound. And 1 wound only.
Only 1 wound.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly do that. That is a dead, 1 guy dead. But I can shoot my pistol as well because both parties volley fire.
Yeah.
So hitting on 5s because I'm snap firing. Only 1 and isn't a wound. Okay, so 1 of them falls. You just want to take the back one. Yeah. And now I charge in. So for chargers, you roll 2d6 and discard the lowest one. That is a 5. So they are definitely in. So into combat we go. Catch you back in a second. Okay, just to mention, I should have done a plasma shot for my sergeant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as a fail hit, but I'm just going to, just in case I roll a 1, basically it would be like a gets hot. So it's a different name now, but just in case, that is perfect. Okay, now we all have 1 attack. You don't get extra attacks for having 2 weapons or a pistol and a weapon. You don't get any more attacks for charging either. It's all under the profile. All of us don't have any weapons that grant us extra attacks. So it's 1 attack each, including the sergeant, only has 1, to your 8 because you have 8 mortals. Yeah. I am hitting on 4s here. One of them is a lightning claw, so I have to do 1 separate. Hitting on 4s with my normal attacks. And 4s to wound. And there's no challenges because we don't have any commands or champion. That is 1 wound for now.
Okay, I'm gonna save.
Yep, save.
1 dead.
1 dead. Okay, so I'm gonna 1 here.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, you can hit with the sergeant.
And I can hit with the sergeant. Yeah, hitting on 4s. That's a hit, and wounding on 4s as well. Nothing there. So your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with my guys here with 4 again.
That is a couple of hits.
4 hits in total, and 4 to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, yeah.
Okay, so 2 3-ups. Both passed, and you've got your lightning claw.
The sergeant
is a 3, so that is not a hit.
It's not hitting. I'm losing by 1.
So we both have. Do you have auxiliaries?
No, I don't. But I have the Legion. I'm not sure if
no, it doesn't have any bubble. The Legion just grants you as 6 models for outnumbering, and it also acts as a auxiliary, but for 2 points instead of 1. So we go on to. So I win by 2 then because I've got a auxiliary. Now leadership test.
Okay. I'm okay.
And okay. Now you have passed. Now here's where it gets a bit clanky. Now you can opt to fall back or disengage, I think it's called, and I can basically try and cut you down, or not cut you down because there's no such thing.
Down, right?
No, I can either gun you down, or I can't gun you down either. So right now, what I can do, you can stay hold, you can just hold, and I can stay.
Hold.
But at this point, something that is new is that you can opt to rout, so basically run away, and I can try and re-engage with you, or you can fall back or unengage, and I can basically try and engage back with you. So a couple of different things.
Much the same.
Yes, pretty much, but one of them is routing. So if you rout, you're falling back and keeping that status of a rout that you basically have to carry on. Whilst the other one is basically just an initiative or a movement step back, and then I can basically consolidate towards you. So you're staying. That means that I'm staying. We stay put. Now we have to count how many models are within 3 inches of that unit. So
one is gone because you have killed it in combat.
Yep. So let's count, and we'll come back to tell you how many points I've scored. Okay, we're back, and I am grabbing. I've already won this objective once, so it goes from 3 points to 2 points. So instead of 5 like last turn, it is now 4 points. 2 for line and 2 for the objective being 2 for this specific mission. And over here, we've basically measured up, and it's, as we're contesting, it all comes down to how many models we have within 3 inches of it. We're both flying, so we count each model as 2, but I have 1 more model within 3 inches than Jose have, meaning that I am now capturing it for another 5 points because that one, did you, no, you capture it the first time.
Yeah.
So it's another 4 points on there. A total of 8 points.
And I
this
don't
turn.
take any point at all, right?
You score at the end of your turn
Yeah,
only.
exactly. It's so tricky, this part.
It's very tricky, very tricky. It's especially when Vanguard comes into play,
Yeah.
which we haven't. I don't think there's any Vanguard units.
No, but I'm gonna make Vanguard.
You're going to make Vanguard. These are Vanguard though. They
Yeah.
are Vanguard 3. So if they do kill something from an objective, they get the 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 points. That's a big swing. Let's go on to turn 2 Vanguard. Oh, Raven Guard,
Raven
not
Guard.
Vanguard, coming up. Okay, we're back. Turn 2 movement finish for the Raven Guard. So Jose is going to tell us what's actually happening, but obviously he has to apply a lot of pressure onto this center objective on his deployment zone. This is one of those tricky missions with 2 objectives only. As soon as one starts fighting for one objective, it does become a bit of a headache. So take us through what's actually happened.
Just basically, I just moved the Terminators towards your tacticals because I need to clear out that unit. Otherwise, you're gonna win the combat there.
Yep.
I've been pushing a little bit more with the spoilers in there, and that's frankly everything because I'm not aiming to go anywhere. I mean, I'm playing defensively because, as I told before, I just want to check it out. How is the movement going on? The measurement, because it changed the movement of the vehicles. You still need to get adapted into those things. So yeah, I'm having a really good point into that sense.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's basically the whole movement.
Okay, Raven Talon staying put as a second advance.
Yeah.
Okay, not going in for the kill yet.
No.
Okay,
Because
perfect.
there is nothing. I mean, you have to come in to make
Yes,
the
I need to
strike.
get closer. Perfect. So let's go on to turn 2
2.
shooting.
Yeah.
Coming up. Going into the shooting phase, we are starting with some sniper shots, right?
Rapiers maybe.
Just
to
the
be
rapiers.
faster.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So on to, I'm going to smoke screen again because you do start with a total number of your max reaction allotment points.
Yeah.
So I'm restarting again to 3. Perfect. Let's go.
3 to hit. Everything hits.
Oh, that's much different.
And now
Strength
3
is 10, so 3 is to pen because they are. Oh, okay. So I need 5 ups. If not, I need to pass them all because he's down to 3.
Yeah.
No, he is dead, and there is no exploding unless it actually says explodes on the unit. So we'll put some flames on it, and that is a kill. But I think you have to do it on your first turn. First strike.
No, to be honest.
Yeah, first strike is first turn, but it is a kill. So let's put some flames and go on to more shooting. Okay, we go into more shooting. Nemesis Bolters next. So this unit of recons is firing all the way. Remember, there's no intervening models for cover saves or anything, and they're going into the segment unit with Araman. I will use a reaction, and I'm going for, what's it called? Stone form again.
+2 toughness.
Yeah, +2 toughness. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that is a
You
pass.
pass it, so you're
+2 toughness.
7, and yeah, 7 overall.
Yeah. So first you do the hits.
3 is to hit.
4s are precision, or no, 5s are precision, right?
5. Well, this is a precision.
Okay, and the rest are all hits.
Okay.
And then strength is 5, so you need 6s.
6s.
Nothing there,
Nothing,
and a
and
6 on the precision. Nothing there.
either.
Okay, and then the other nemesis bolters are firing
Your tactical
at the
units.
tacticals, and you have the vigilator as well, right?
Yes.
Range 48, still in range. Let's do this. So 3 left on there. That's
2 hits, 2 to wound, 3 to wound, sorry.
yep.
1 rending.
1 rending 5 up, right? So
Yeah.
nothing I can do.
Uh,
Take it off there.
Vigilator, 2 to hit, 2
Perfect.
to wound. Wound.
Okay.
It's not rending, so
Is it-
AP3, so it's
AP3,
1
so
less.
still 1 dead. No artificial armor.
Yeah,
So 2 dead. I do need to take a pinning check.
yeah, pinning check.
So a cool test. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a pass. Is it pinning -1 or something? Or is it
It's
just
1,
pinning?
it's pinning 1 actually. I
So
don't
that's
know.
a -1 to my cool check. So
Yeah.
they are pinned now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put a little status on them. Let's get a token and put the status on. Okay, so we're going into charges because we thought that this little cyclonic melter was 18. It's 12 this edition. I don't know if it's a misprint, but it says 12 in the rulebook, so that's how we have to play it. So he still needs to run a bit further up. Maybe we need a drop pod for him, but obviously we need to unlock a detachment to bring those drop pods. Perfect. Let's go on to here. So it is a charge. You're basically you are a inch away.
Yeah, I don't need to do the move, the pile move.
Yes, I can't volify or anything like that. So basically, it's 2d6,
and
choosing the highest.
I'm in.
That's all you needed.
Yeah, well, I'm in. Let's see how.
Unless if it was a double one, then you would fail.
Yeah.
Okay, so they all moved in with the Saturnine Praetor as well. Nothing I can do. Let's go straight on to combat and we'll show you a bit of those higher initiative units. Smashing first. Okay, just to step back here because we should have done this on the Master of Signals at the beginning of Jose's turn. Basically, you do an intelligence check and his rule is to grant a unit either line 1 or Vanguard 1. And if you have line, you lose line and get Vanguard. If you have Vanguard, you lose Vanguard and get line. You don't get both, but you can give it to units that don't have any of those rules, and you want to do it.
Box realize.
Yes,
it's called. Really
and you
good.
want to do it on your command squad,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Perfect. So you do need to do an intelligence check, but the Master of Signal has an intelligence check of 10. So you need to equal or go under. Let's roll that. Don't roll a 11 or 12. And you rolled a 12. So you fail it, sir. And nothing happens.
So it's okay, nothing
you
happens.
just fail it. Nothing happens. Now we go into combat. So do you want to do your attacks? You're striking at normal initiative here.
Yeah.
At the same time as all the tactical squads.
Yeah.
And then you've got your Praetor in Saturnine armor attacking after everybody does. Because his initiative is 4.
4 and minus 1 because of the power, the Saturnine axe.
Okay. I think the tactical squad will probably be dead. Shall I do my attacks really quickly? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3.
Are you going to attack the tactical,
1, 2,
I believe,
3,
right?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. I'm going for the tactical squads. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Hitting on 4s. All hit. And 1, 2, 3 wounds. Jose?
3 wounds?
Yep,
Okay,
so
3 up to save.
No Artificium anymore, which I like.
I failed only 1. One guy is gone.
Okay, we'll put a 1 over here. I'm not even going to put a 1 because there's too many attacks and I've seen what Lightning Claws can do.
Yeah, it's 5 attack each because
Yes.
you have +2. I mean, they have basic 3.
Yep.
And plus double lightning claws, you got 5 in total of
5
for
attacks
each guy.
And they are weapon skill 5 because they are a command squad, Cataphracti command squad.
1 more dice, and we're gonna roll all this, hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s.
Hitting on 3s, yeah.
Looking for 6s here because
6s have rending, so you would automatically
roll this again.
Okay, so you've got 2 6s there.
So that's straightforward to rendings.
And 2 dead because they rend and they become 6s, which are AP 2, aren't they? Because you do have breaching as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at this. And then, 1 more 3.
And there's another 3 over there.
Oh,
that one. Okay, we move the 1s and 2s.
Force wound and 6s again. This time we got a few ones actually.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and you had 2 already.
Yeah,
that went through, so that's 8. And then you have how many wounds?
8
in your hand.
2 more. Wait a second. Is 2 more wounds to
2
make?
more wounds, yeah. If I get any 1s and 2s,
AP3 anyway. So.
Oh, it's AP3, yes.
Yeah.
So they're dead anyway.
Yeah.
There's no artificial armor. That unit is perished straight away off. You could even attack with your tactical squads, but you didn't need to. Now, I'll explain something. So imagine that unit is not there anymore. If he had Vanguard, if he would have not rolled a double 6 like he did, these guys would have got a Vanguard point because they have killed something that was on an objective. That's how Vanguard works. Like of segments, they have Vanguard 3, so if they kill something on an objective, they get 3 points. Things like Justerian have 4 Vanguard 4, so you get 4 points for killing stuff. So
Yeah.
you can see that a lot of these elite units do have high Vanguard, which are also great. Sometimes in the last couple of games, I've even thought, oh, maybe Vanguard is even better than Line on some occasions. So now what happens is that he scores this at the end of his turn. We've scored it we've scored it twice already. So it drops down to 2 points.
Yep.
No, to 1 point now.
3 in total.
3
plus
in
one
total.
Of the,
3 plus 1, 4.
The Vanguard that I just made.
No, you didn't make it because you didn't pass it.
Sorry.
If you would have,
in my mind, I did it.
because it was very difficult to fail, but you did fail. So you've just scored 3 points there for that, taking the score to 5, 6, 7, 8, 15. Okay, turn 3, and the score is 15-5 for the Thousand Suns. Now, as for moving, I've moved back with my Demolisher because it can move its maximum movement of 10. This is far too slow. He's slow and the gun is very short range. I've moved up my Sagmek. Maybe, hopefully, if he moves up, we can see a bit of a close combat clash between them. Just trying to show things off for this turn. Now, if you see from the top-down camera, I was trying to measure my vehicles to try and go over your enemy model. So it's something you can do. You can move with vehicles through your own models with nothing happening, but your vehicle has to surpass the unit. You can't finish on the unit. And if you can basically run through enemy models, but then you do damage onto them. So again, something new, very, very important, a big change. So something to look forward to. So I couldn't do it with the rhinos, so this is why I moved them back and started going and used them as a bit of a shield for the Sekmek that are moving up with Araman. So movement. I have disembarked with my last unit of tacticals, more as a showcase to shoot into the tactical squad more than anything, because I just didn't. There's too many bodies in there, and if I charge, it could get a bit clanky in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into some shooting, but before we do that, at the beginning of the phase is when you can take statuses off, which I am pinned. You can take statuses off if you have a Nucio Vox or you have my Psychic Power. At this point, a Nucio Vox is better because my command, and the only way to use a Nucio Vox is if you have a command on the table, which I do still have one, and it is Araman. You take a cool tech or leadership tech if you're routed. I am pinned, so I'm taking a cool check at leadership 10. So here we go. Cool check 10, sorry. That is an 8, meaning that my status is now removed. If you have multiple status, you would have to basically roll for each one using different factors to remove them. That means that this unit can now act as normal. Score, use reactions, and all the extra bits it can do as a normal unit. It is important to note that I am doing it now and not at the end of the turn before you score because of the Nucio Vox. If not, it would be just before the scoring phase. But it is good because that means that you can score your objectives even if you are routed or have a status on. You can remove it just before the scoring phase. Perfect. On to some shooting coming up. Onto the Demolishers, firing again. So one shot, first of all, he is within 18 inches, so hitting on a 3. That is a hit. Even if he wasn't within 18 inches, I would still hit because of the snapfire rule. So I hit automatically, and that obviously would be, you would basically do this first, and then do the shooting. Strength 12. I don't need that because it's a hit, yeah. So it is Strength 12 to your Toughness of 8, so 2 to wound. And that is a wound. Now, it's not breaching, it is AP3, so you do have a 2 up.
I'm okay.
If not, it would be damage 3.
Yeah.
He has Ordnance D. So Ordnance means that if it stays still, the damage is doubled. So these things are damage 6 if they stay still.
It's
Which
brutal.
it is brutal, but there's no brutal anymore. So I can't shoot with these guys because I can't damage this. And just to point out as well, you don't have to charge the same thing you shoot at.
Super important.
Massive change. There is a video about most of the changes that we think are important to note. You can go and check that out after this report, unless you have already seen it. So you could shoot into there, or you can shoot into something else, which I'll pre-measure. If I can shoot off camera, I will be doing some shots and then still charge something else. Now, you can only charge with a step up. They are heavy, so their step up is much shorter, and then it's 2d6 in the height. So you need to be a lot closer for charges. Basically 6 inches. That's your maximum charge for the likes of that. And the step up, I think it's only your initiative. So they would basically do a 1-inch step up and then a 2d6 charge, choosing the highest. Okay, so what I am going to do, Jose, now, I think the best bet to do is do all the small arms fire. So combi bolters are 4 shots each.
Yeah.
So this squad's, if they reach within 24, there's going to be a lot of shooting there. And what I am going to do is I'm going to check if they are in range. Can you check? Are they within 24 of the...
Yeah, it's in range.
Okay, how many are they?
Well, not the last one, but the other ones, yeah.
Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to... So you can either give them precision with divination, which he has, or I can go for the arcana, which gives them rending 5 up. And I'm going to go with the rending 5 up. So
Okay.
let's do a leadership test. Again, a cool check. That is a pass. So basically they will have rending. So I'll shoot them into there. I'll shoot the tacticals into there as well, if they're not already removed. They will shoot into your command squad if they're in range, and these guys are definitely out in range. Remember that if they are more than 18 inches away, being Raven Guard, I will be snapped.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, and a lot of small arms fire. I actually did these shots into there. I was more than 18 inches away, so I was hitting on 5s, but this unit, for example, 9 of them, 4 shots from every combi bolter is a total of 36 shots. I just want to point out that you can give them rending 5 ups, like I did over there, which I did a lot of damage. I'll go into that. And as well, so you could also give them divination, for example, so that those 5s also become precision shots. A lot of really, really strong stuff for the Suns as combos. So I'm going to talk you through them. They were rending, they were more than 18 inches away, so I needed 5s for snap firing, but all those 5s were automatically wounding because of the rending power for their arcana. I basically wiped out the units. With the help of a rhino at the very end.
With the help of the rhino in the end.
Yes. Now, between the rest of it, I've done a total of
4 wounds.
4 wounds onto there. I needed
meters.
to wound them on 5s, and they do have 2 up saves now. So let's see how it goes.
Everything okay, but
That
1
is
wound.
1 wound dealt on one of the Terminators.
Yep.
Now, at this point, I am not going to charge in, because that would be very, very crazy, a bit suicidal to move into that and just getting killed off. So that is the end of my turn. At this point, I score a point for this objective, plus the 2 from line,
3 more.
taking it to 3 for a total of 15, 16, 17, 18 points
5.
to your 5. It's not looking good, and it might be the end of it at the end of this turn, because this is something of the high scoring points we don't like. We've said it in the good, the bad, the ugly video, which again you can see now live on YouTube. I'm not liking the point system, but I do need to get, I think we need to get a bit more used to of how you control, what to throw into those objectives.
Measurement and movements.
Vanguard, exactly.
Also, the way that you are interacting to catch my points in your turn is not
definitely
good
We're
at all.
still playing 2nd edition, and it's very, very different. This edition
super
with the
different.
score
You have
points.
to adapt your mind a lot.
You do have to adapt your mind. So that is the end of my turn 3. Let's go on to Raven Guard movement coming up. Turn 3 movement over for the Raven Guard. Everything pushing up the field. trying as much as possible. So what Jose did at the beginning, which he was trying to get me in, actually is very difficult to do for this mission, we've noticed, because obviously he's too far back. It's short missions as well, still 4 turns for every mission, and he just hasn't got the movability to move on to my second objective. Again, no vehicles. Transports are massive. The amount of movement you can get. A Rhino moves 12, you disembark 7, just gives you, the addition is very, very fast if you have those units to go with them. So as for movement, we moved up the Leviathan. I have actually used a movement reaction to move forward because we really want to show you a combat of this scale. And then everybody here has shuffled up, applying pressure onto the objective. The first thing that moved were the Raven Talons finally coming to play, but I spoiled it for Jose because I used a movement reaction with this tactical squad and moved back my initiative. Now I've used 2, I still have 1, but both this unit and that unit cannot use another reaction for the full turn, just in case you missed it before when we mentioned it. And then lastly, we have the command squad now moving up onto the tactical squad and hoping to remove it from play. Let's go and get some dice, Jose, and go into a shooting phase. Onto the shooting phase we go, and we're starting again with the recon squads and the Vigilator. So we're starting with this one here at the very back, and he's firing all the way, which they can get line of sight, onto this unit here. So we're going to do the 3 shots first.
We can do all the time. I mean, the Vigilator is the white
perfect.
one.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go here.
Hitting on 2s with the Vigilator.
This one is hitting and the Vigilator is hitting.
Yep, and no critical hits on the Vigilator.
And now looking for 2s to wound and 3s to wound in the black one.
Yeah.
Nothing here, but this is a rending one.
That is a rending and nothing I can do. So a pinning check straight away.
Yeah.
Here we go. We need to do a cool check. And that is a pass.
Okay, yeah. The other squad is going to be shooting.
Yeah, that squad could see Araman.
Yeah.
So you're going to try and...
let's try to make a wound into a Araman.
Yeah, slay the wall. And you can see precision strikes a bit again. So hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s. This is precision and this is precision, right?
And that is 1 hit. 2 misses.
2 misses. Now 3s, well, 4s to wound actually, but I'm looking for 6s. Nah, not 6s.
So no 6s, which is no... Is it breaching...
It's breaching 5, I think?
I think it's breaching 5 ups.
I think so too.
What I'll do is these go into... That one doesn't wound, right?
Yeah, that doesn't wound.
Yeah. I would, at this point, I would have done my Arcana to get the +2 toughness, but I just wanted...
Breaching 5, okay.
Breaching 5 ups.
So, yeah.
Just to point out, for people that would have said, why didn't you do your +2 toughness Arcana spell? We just wanted to show you a bit more of the precision.
Yeah.
So these 2 have now gone through. He allocates it into Araman. I do have my saves to do, which is pass both, because he does have a 4-up vulnerable save. So that is the shooting from them. Let's get some dice ready and move into the Leviathan. Okay, on to the Leviathan now. I'm going to see some Flamers. Flamers are great. They have Panic. This one specifically has Panic 1, which minuses 1 as a modifier to your leadership. So we're going to do the normal shots. Let's do the Flamer first.
Okay.
As per normal rules from the base. And it's 2 of them.
7 of, well, 14 wounds.
Okay, 14 in total. Strength is...
5.
5. So 4 to wound, because Terminators are now toughness 5.
Right there. So here we are. 4 to wound.
Okay, so that is...
Well, let's take the
2, 4, 6 wounds.
6
wounds. I'm quickly going to take your dice if you don't mind. 3 and 3. And 2-up saves.
You're more than
all
okay.
Passed. But... if you get wounded, even if you don't suffer a save, you do have to do a leadership test. I do have leadership 9 on my highest leadership on the unit. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, Panic 1. So I do fail.
You will fail it and then
yes,
you will
so
root.
I routed. So 1d6 plus my initiative back. And that is a 6 plus my initiative of 4, 10 inches back. But... as the game's going to finish, because more or less in points, do you want me to stay just to see the combat?
Yeah, stay in there.
Okay, so I would have routed for you guys at home to know, but it was very rare to do so, but we're going to keep them on so you can actually see them in combat. Now, I want to state something, that if you are routed and you get charged and you're routed, nothing happens with that. But even if you win combat, you still need to route. You still carry on running if you have the route token on it. So yeah, just to let you know. You do have some melters.
Yeah, let's shoot the meta. 3 to hit, because now weapon ballistic skill 4.
Yes.
2 to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
4 up. If not, they're gone.
Both
You're gone.
passed.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not gone. I'm
Perfect.
sorry.
Now, Jose doesn't want to shoot with any of the small arms fire because he doesn't want to make the charge longer. Remember that it's not a 2d6 charge. It is now a step up plus 2d6, choosing the highest. They are heavy, so the step up would be much shorter. To finish off, you've got your rapiers again.
Yeah, let's shoot the rapiers against, let's say,
Terminator segment. Yeah.
Segment, why not? They are annoying, so let's do it.
And your Laper rapiers are damage 2 and damage 3 if you don't move, so you would go straight through them. 2s to wound, that is 2 wounds. 4 up saves, and that is both passed.
Okay, well, let's try to charge now. So.
Charge, yes. So here you would do your step up.
Yeah.
And as you are
1 inch maximum,
an inch away, is it heavy? I don't think
it's heavy. It's heavy, the guy.
So you can just step up 1
inch.
So you wouldn't be able to push in. I can't volley fire because I just can't wound you. So now you would do 2d6.
2d6. I'm in.
And make it in. So the step up would be an inch, but you would still be out because you have to be more than an inch away.
Yeah.
And then you would charge. So you make it in. So you really, in this edition, want to get like really up close and personal to make those charges.
Yeah.
So he smashes in. And then over here, you would step up 1 inch.
1 inch.
And I just want to point out as well that when you step up, you add your initiative and your movement together. And there is a chart on the rule book that tells you how much you step up.
Yeah.
If you're disordered, you just move your initiative, I believe it is. And if you are heavy, you just move your initiative as well.
Yeah.
I might be wrong with that. I might be slightly wrong with that. I need to double check. But at this point, we now volley fire. So I get to shoot at you with my pistols. So
10
2,
shots.
4, 6, 8, 10. Sometimes it wouldn't be necessary, but I'm just trying to showcase this to you as the new edition. So snap firing, unless you have some other rules that tell you you don't have to snap fire.
Now 5
to wounds, majority toughness.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. 2 up saves.
2 up saves. I'm okay.
Okay, perfect.
Barely.
And then it's 2d6, choosing the highest.
Yeah, I'm in 4.
Definitely in. Let's move them up and go straight into combat to finish off turn 3. Okay, on to combat, and we are. What's the initiative on the Leviathan?
4.
So we're striking at the same time as my blades, which are called Archaea Pattern 4 Swords. So we're striking at the same time because my initiative is also 4. So you are hitting me on 5s now because all dreadnoughts are weapon skill 4. It's a big change. Let's go.
So hitting you on 4 attacks, hitting you on 5s. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so I do my swords next, hitting on 3s. Ooh, that was a bad one. They're scared, terrified of that Leviathan. And then looking for 6s because your toughness is nothing. So nothing there. But now I have all these attacks, because it's 3 attacks each, with the Thunder Hammer. So here we go. Hitting on 3s. And now another change is the Thunder Hammers plus 3 strength only. So strength 7. So I'm looking for 5s and 6s.
Oof, a lot of 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. AP2, you get your invulnerable save of
5 if I'm not wrong.
Is it 5? Do you want to quickly check? Maybe it goes back to a 4 up again? This
I think it's only the Saturn 9 Dreadnought is the only one having 4, but let's double check.
Double check, because he is a beast already.
Yeah.
And we can see, because if he has a 4 up, it's very good actually, even though he's dropped ballistic skill and the weapon skill, having a better. Can you find him? Now it's all changed. Now we don't know which way we have to look. There we go. 5 up. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 ups. Let's see if I say something. Only 1 wound.
Okay. These are damage 2 apiece. 2, 4, 6, 8. He has how many wounds?
7.
7.
He's gone.
He gone. Now this is one of the limited things that has explode. 5 up. So when it dies, you need to roll for this. And it fires up. So now we have to check what explodes does, because it's the first time in the last couple of games that it has happened. So when something explodes, it does the same amount of hits equal to the wounds it does.
Yep.
At strength 8, AP 1. Now, two things. Remember that if this was last edition and they were toughness 5, you wouldn't be able to instant kill.
Yeah.
But in this edition, that doesn't exist anymore. There's no double strength. There's no instant killing. So strength 8, even if they were toughness 4, like normal Marines, it wouldn't matter. There is no double strength anymore. So 7 hits, and you need to wound at strength 8. So 2's to wound.
2's to wound. So
and it's any unit within 6 inches automatically. You don't roll. Okay, and these are 2-up saves. So 1 wound dealt. So I just put a little 1 here, and he would basically be removed.
Yeah, he's gone completely.
And then at this point, I could consolidate in any direction. Okay, we move on to here. Again, let's get some dice ready. A lot of Lightning Claw goodness coming up next. Okay, we're back. Last combat of turn 3 and possibly the game because of the points. But we'll go into that later on. So a lot of attacks, 4 attacks from the champion. We've just noticed. So even more attacks than before. Hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s.
Auto wounding on 6s, because the rending now is on the hit, and that is another
3 gone straight forward.
And then remove the 1s and the 2s, which you have rolled a lot of.
Classic. So classic.
Couple more there. Wow, I think there's a 4 there, no? I think
no, it wasn't. Trust me, it wasn't.
Okay, and then these are 4's to wound.
4's to wound. If I got a 6, it's another one. Anyway,
it doesn't matter. They go through because there's no artificial.
3 more wounds.
So 6 in total dead. Okay, now I would strike back with all my attacks. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My full squad hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s. 1 wound for now.
1 wound, 2 up. And I miss it.
I think one of them is dead, not because it was wounded.
Straightforward.
Okay, and then I do my Lightning Claw with 1 attack. Doesn't hit. So and then you have your Saturnine Praetor to attack.
Yeah, let's attack with him. It's only 4 attacks.
Okay, are you using
the axe?
Axe. Okay.
Let's do the axe. I mean, the Horus Fist is +2 strength.
But you don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. I mean, I want to use the axe because I like
because it's cool and it's big.
That's all. 3's to hit, everything hits, but not that one, and now 3's to wound.
And instantly killing. So 2 more dead.
2 more dead.
So that is a total of 8 dead. You've won by 6. I have a Vixilia. No, so you've won by 8. No, I've killed the model. Because remember, it's not wounds anymore.
It's not wounds,
it's models. So you've killed 8, I've killed 1. So I drop down to 7. You have a +2 there, so I go up to 9, back to 9. I have a Vixilia, so I drop down to 8, and I have more models than you. So that is an outnumbering as well now in 3rd edition. So whoever has more models gets a +1. So basically I'm at an around -7. So I basically need like a double 1, which I don't get. So I now fall back a D6 plus my initiative. Which is 5. Now at this point, you can gun down, which you don't want to do.
No.
You can hold ground or consolidate, or you can pursue. So you can go and try and...
Yeah, I'm going to try to pursue you, but I mean, it's all right.
At this point, you can hold the line, consolidate. At this point, there's no... But you could do 3 of those. So you can gun them down, pursue, or just consolidate.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that's that combat done. Points-wise, you would score a total of 3 points here, because that objective is now 1, and the 2 points for that line unit, because they do have line 2, right?
Line 2, yeah.
Okay, that would take you to 8 points. Let's have a deliberation of what is happening, because we don't have to go into turn 4. It's definitely not a win for the Raven Guard. But let's see who has more on the table, and we'll have a cheeky challenge at the very end with both our warlords, because we might as well show it off. Yeah. Okay, we're back, and after deliberating, we have noticed that the Raven Guard can't win, even with another objective, even with the 4 points for last man standing. I would still be in the lead. But I'm going to shake a hand first, a win to the 1,000 Suns. And we're going to go into a challenge because it is a new mechanic which you haven't seen. And obviously, like I stated at the beginning, this was a test game for you guys to learn and show the mechanics in a smaller point system. And I hope you've enjoyed it. But we're going to go into the challenge, which is one of the biggest mechanics added to this 3rd edition. So I'm going to teach you how it happens. So what you do is you start off with your initiative. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it as either choosing the gambit earlier on and then add in all the modifiers, or the other way. This is the way we're doing it here in the studio because it works best to work out what gambit you can do. Now, there's gambits for special things like divination has a gambit. Your characters can have gambits. Your Rite of Wars can have gambits, which is all the rules that you do get. We're going to go for gambits from the main rule book so you can see it a bit better in case you don't have the Legion books. Now, the first thing we do is we we go into modifiers, and that is your initiative. Jose has an initiative of 4, whilst I have an addition of 5. Now, there is modifiers. The combat initiative score of each model is added to the result of the focus roll. A model with heavy subtype modifiers, which Jose has, so you -1, 2, 3. You also suffer modifiers for each wound lost, which we haven't lost any wounds at this time. Now, you do add Duelist's Edge, which because I have divination, I am granted 2. So this goes up to a 6 and a 1 for now for the focus roll. Okay, Jose, are you up to this for now?
Yeah, completely there.
Okay, models with a light subtype gain a +1 modifier, and I think you also get a +1 modifier if you have the likes of combat shields or some sort of shields. More on that as we go playing more games. A model may gain a positive modifier for outside support. So if there was units around us, which for this time now we're not going to do, we're going to say as they are out in the open on the battlefield, whoever had more would actually get another one. Yeah. For example, the company banner acts as 6 models. Yeah. So it's a big thing to have your Legion banner just beside you as you challenge your opponent. So at this point, I am on 6. Jose is on 3. I'm going to be the one, as the winner of the game, I'm going to be the one that has charged him. So I would choose my gambit first. I know that I am at a higher initiative than him, so I'm going to go... you have a -1 to the damage, right?
No, but it's just on shooting with last cannons.
Oh, just on shooting, not in close combat.
Not in close combat.
Perfect. So I am going to go for finishing blow, which gives me a +1 strength and damage of all hits inflicted. But for the focus roll, I need to roll 2d6 and discard the highest. Yeah. What are you going to go for?
I'm gonna make
so you can go for seize the initiative, which is for try and get a higher roll, but at this point I'm quite more higher than you for the modifier at the time. You can go for extra attacks, but they inflict 1 damage, or there's a lot more things. And again, like I stated, apart from these here in the rulebook, which I'll get a bit closer, you can actually get extra ones from your Rite of Wars, extra characters, psychic powers. There's a lot more gambits everywhere along the book.
I'm going to take the seized initiative, for example.
Seized initiative, yeah. Perfect. So if you get a 6 on the seized initiative, that will take it to 6, 7, 8, 9. I am now on 7, so if I get a 1 or a 2, a 2 we would reroll, yep. A 1 we would basically, I would lose. I'm rolling 2d6 and discarding the lower, so if I get a 1 on this roll, it is not very good.
We had to choose the weapons too also.
Oh yes, that is something. So yep. I am going for my weapon, which is the Corvidian Scepter. And this grants me a +1 initiative modifier. So I'm actually on I'm actually there, because that is my weapon of choice. What is yours?
I'm going to take the Saturn and the Disruption Fist.
What's your initiative there?
-2. So I have to
-2.
risk.
So you are down to 1. So
Yeah.
you really don't want to go for this
Yeah,
one.
it's not necessary. So yeah.
No. So you would go for something like
The one that you take already. Oh no, I'm gonna take my very own
the Raven Guard one.
the Raven Guard one. I'm gonna take the risky for biscuit, right?
Okay, which is. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah, sure. Let me check it out first of all. The Raven Guard, because it's a little bit
There we go.
tricky.
It's there. It's there. I saw it. This one.
Yeah, here it is. I mean, this gambit allows the model to make a single attack first, followed by the remainder of their attacks if the first is successful.
Yes.
Not only to hit, but to wound too.
Yes. So all, as you can see in the book, everybody has a little paragraph to explain really quickly what it does, and then it has the proper explanation as we go along. So do you know what you're doing there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna attack you first. After all the things, I decide to take this gambit, so I'm gonna be the first one attacking. But if I miss it, I'm not gonna be able to make any more attacks.
So I think the gambit would have been first, though. So you would have known this by now.
I know.
Okay.
But
So
we had to explain all this just to
So
make
what
sure.
does a gambit do?
I'm gonna drop one attack. Okay.
Okay.
Force to hit.
And if you hit,
Now choose to wound.
okay. And if it
And wounded
wounds,
you. Now I'm doing the remaining attacks.
okay.
Same process. Everything but one, and choose to wound. Okay. So you got 2 wounds that they are damage 3, so you have to make 2 saves.
2 saves, and this is what it does. You go before
I go
me?
before you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have 4 ups, and I
3
pass
wounds.
1. He has 4 wounds, so he is down
To
to
1.
1 wound remaining. Let's get some dice ready, and I will attack. Okay, my turn to strike. Now it's a bit of confusion because the Raven Guard Gambit, apart from saying that you go first with no advantage roll, or what is it called? Focus roll, sorry. It doesn't say if you are the winner or not. So the winner would, from that focus roll, would get +1 attack, but it doesn't specifically state it. So more on that maybe later on as we dwell into the rule book a bit more. So I'm going to do my 5, and Jose is not going to do the extra attack for Breen first because it doesn't specifically say that. So I am weapon skill 6. What is your weapon skill? 6
Same.
6 as well. I'm going to use force to make my my weapon damage 2, which I pass. Oh, but this is a perils.
Of the war.
Let's skip that. Let's say we've passed it, so we're not going to go into that. So 5, but it is a pass, but there is a perils. Hitting on 4s, that is 3 hits. And
double
6.
1 is always a miss in the new rules, by the way, just to make sure that everyone, I mean...
Yes, and double 1 is a pass, right? On the perils.
Double 6
but it's you do basically mortal wounds at 13 minus your cool, which is 10. So I would have taken 3 mortal wounds. I could have taken it into the unit. So 3 hits, of which 1 is a critical hit, which I have on a 6-up. So this is an auto wound and a +1 damage, taking it to damage 4. Because I am damage 2 at the moment because of force, a critical hit would take me to 3, and I've gone for finishing blow, which grants me another hit of damage 4. Now, I do still need to wound with these,
6?
which are...
my 5s.
My strength is 6. So what's your toughness?
6.
So 4 is to
Strength
wound.
6?
Yeah, because I have +1 strength,
the finish blow,
and I have finishing blow. 1 more. So this one is damage 3 and damage 4.
I'm going to throw the damage 4 first, for example. I'm okay.
A pass.
I'm okay.
And a pass. Okay. But just to let you know that Araman is a really good challenger.
Really good.
Hopefully we got that right. Maybe we got some things wrong, but you did get a bit of a mechanic of how it works as a challenge. Does slow the game a lot at this point. We will get faster and get used to it. But at this point, we are like, when there's a couple of challenges in games, it feels like it's slowing the game a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about it all. End of game conclusion. Coming right up. And there we have it, the end of the game and a win to the Thousand Suns. Now, we have been recording a lot of games, so we don't know the order of the games that are coming out. So you will see as it goes out that we will be picking up new rules, picking up mistakes. So please bear with us. If you see any mistakes, just comment nicely on the comment section, and we will try and reply as quickly as possible. If you have any questions about the rule set, again, we are more than happy to help on the rule set, on the comment section. Sorry. So let's go straight into the game. It was a 2 objective mission, so it's quite tight because we're both battling that out. But the winner has been that quick move from one of the rhinos, capturing that objective and scoring those extra points in one of the opening turns. I think the first thing we should talk about is the legions. Very different. Thousand Suns look very, very good, very powerful. I know that psychic powers are a bit more difficult to pull off, in the sense that as soon as you get a double, you are either stunned or taking wounds. But the overall look, everything looks better. Everything looks more powerful, and I think it's going to be one of those legions to look out for. Now, I'm not the avid Thousand Suns player to be talking about this, but you are the Raven Guard player for a very long time. So talk to me about what you're thinking about the Raven Guard. Well, totally different to what you normally
nothing
is.
In connection. I mean, from 1 edition, I mean, for 2nd edition, and even from 1st edition to now, I mean, there is no connection at all.
No.
And this list that I brought, it was something that I wanted to bring it, first of all, because it's, I mean, the boots in the ground is a need, okay? But the mobility, I figured out that it was something that you really needed. And this army, it was an example that the lack of mobility, and if you stay back because you want to take advantage of the trait of the Raven Guard, it's not going to benefit you in a long term if you're having this sort of maps and all that.
Yeah.
It's completely different because you, first of all, you cannot infiltrate. It's not like Alpha Legion that they can do infiltrate. It has changed dramatically. The game is quite gamey, the sense that, if I'm 18 inches away.
It's strong. We've seen just how strong, and you haven't been like, you didn't have like a lot of shooting loops.
Yeah, exactly.
If you build the list specifically for the traits.
Orientating on shooting, Raven Guard can be something really, really powerful, but also you need to have drop pods, and also you need to have a fast vehicles like let's say rhinos, because I mean rhinos is the best vehicle in the game for sure. There is no hesitation of that. And the thing is, the Raven Guard is shooting orientating this edition. I would say you can, of course, you can go ahead with the close combat units like the Dark Talons, I mean the Dark Furies and all that. But the thing is that Dark Furies doesn't have Vanguard, which is really down. I mean, it let me down. So like, why it doesn't have Vanguard? I mean, they should have Vanguard for sure. Yeah. Because it's the unit that is designed to beat down those units, right?
You've got like a positive on the weapon skill, which was nice, but then a lot
weapon
of
skill 5, the whole unit,
a lot of negatives to the unit in that sense.
So overall, I mean, this game was a very good example of, movement is super important in the mechanics of the game nowadays. And the lack of movement that I had during the from the very beginning of the game, it was a really good example of how not to play in this edition, because you really need to keep moving all the time just to proceed, because as you see, Pardo was contesting my objective in his turn, and he took double, and it was like, ooh, that's so cheesy. I mean, you really have to get into that advantage all the time.
I think like I've had a lot more games than Jose, so I'm now used to how though that helps how you pressure those line units onto objectives, and I think maybe it caught you out a bit on that sense. But that's how you play. You need to be aggressive, and we have been talking off camera as well that maybe some of his units, like the Despoilers, like the Raven Talons,
they need to move.
They need to move. They need to be aggressive. They need to go hunting for those objectives and killing those line units early on. Talking about speed. We're talking about the reverse of that. So Terminators are very slow. We've seen 2 massive Segmech units that are costing me over 500 points.
500 point bomb.
With no Land Raiders, with no Spartans, they just carry on moving up the field, especially in a deployment like this. We've seen just how slow. The good thing is that they are resilient. They've got powers where they can either get shrouded saves over 4 up or 5 up, I think it is, using one of their Arcanas. We can see the +2 toughness, which takes them up to toughness 7, which again we've seen. So they are resilient to do, but you really want to be moving faster. An investment of Land Raiders and Spartans. Spartans are just insanely good. Damage 3 on their las cannons all the time. Even if you don't move, they're just damage 3. They are very good.
Very academic game, I would say, in the sense that it's you have to change your mindset from the previous edition
completely,
because it's nothing in connection with the dynamics that the game has.
For all those people saying, "Oh, it's like a 2.5," it's going to be no. This is a whole complete different edition. Yes, it's called the core of weapon skill and ballistic skill and how you hit, but just touching that, there's other things like slap firing changes. If you are better ballistic skill, you get critical hits. Even in the core of the rules from 2.0 and 1.0, there is already changes that branches out to a whole different game, a whole different tactic, and yeah, it is definitely a complete new overhaul. I don't think there's a lot more. You've got videos to watch, you've got other battle reports to watch. If you want more content, head over to SN Plus, where we already have SN Plus for 3rd edition battle reports. So you have the likes of Iron Warriors versus Salamanders on there for now, and we will be progressing with more battle reports every couple of days. That's it for us. If you have any questions, leave a comment, leave a like, and share if you have friends to share with. And and again, just to point out, if you want to buy the box set, please make sure you link the below link for Element Games, which is an affiliate link to us, and we'll be helping out for every box set you buy. That's the end of us. We'll see you in the next battle report very soon. Goodbye.
Don't take Leviathans.
No, don't take Leviathans.